Good morning. It is day 3 of the summer reboot. I'm Margaret Brown, and I am the CEO and founder of socializela.com. And I wanted to wish you a happy Friday and hope this week has been awesome. I want to let you know why we did the summer reboot. We do the summer reboot annually to help people to realign with their plan or just look back to see what's worked, what has not worked in the past 6 months or longer, and to create new habits, give you new ideas. And the reboot looked a little differently this year. We added in the content calendar at the very end of the reboot. And it's just, I've gotten a lot of questions about it. How do we fill it out? And so that's what we're going to do today. We are going to get to work. So this is what I'd like you to do. I'd like for you to open up your summer reboot worksheet. And you might be saying, I don't have it. In the show notes, it's right there. You just click that link and then do what you need to do, and it'll be emailed to you, okay? If you don't want to do that right now, or if this is day 3 and you've missed day 1 and 2, don't worry about it. The videos are on the on our pages on our Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook channels, so you can catch up, okay? Also, if you wanted to work through the workbook on your own, if you've missed the last 2 days, feel free and go for it. Some of these elements, like the visibility, credibility, and likability exercise, you might want to hear what I have to say about that on day 1, and then creating your initiatives. So we're going to start here with initiatives, but today we are going to focus on this calendar. And I hope everybody really has had a great week. I know that it is, I try not to talk about the C word, but I mean, it's just part of our life right now. And it's, I know that it can kind of feel defeating. And so, not that I'm like trained in this or anything, but it's important that I personally, during this trial that all of us are going through, try and find the good and the things that I love to stay positive and to continue to move me forward. There's a lot of things about this that are it's just heartbreaking. And if I allowed myself to dwell on it and to just say, well, what's the use? Or, I mean, it would be a bad situation. So, those things are there. I don't ignore them personally. But I also know that I need to focus on my future, focus on the future of our company, and focus on the future of those who put their marketing into our hands. Whether you are a client, you're a member of the Flex Your Influence community, or you're part of our audience who shows up to all of our events, and that matters to me, to show up for you. So that's why I'm here, and I'm excited to be here. So we have these initiatives. That was your homework from day 1. And again, on day 2, I compelled you to make sure to have those initiatives ready. So we are going to use my initiative as an example. Okay. And so my initiatives, when we say initiatives, it's like, what are the main, what do we want to accomplish? What do we want to market? What do we want to give the visibility to on any of these given months? And so in September, we have a open enrollment period for our Flex Your Influence community. So that's going to be very important. However, that's in week 1. So all of that is going to be happening in the next few days. But our next initiative is in the middle of September. We have purchased a exhibit booth at an amazing online conference, NABO's Women's Business Conference. It's an annual conference. And this year, of course, it's online. And we bought an exhibit booth. And so as a team, we have our plan to make sure that it's a great experience for everyone who visits us. So that is that. Now, yesterday, we also discussed this page. And so you're going to want to answer these questions. Again, rewatch the video. We can't really go over that again now. But here we talked about creating a theme for all of the months of the year. And so I want to show you my themes. Now, I don't expect people to plan annually. That can sometimes feel a little overwhelming. I do it because I got over that overwhelm a long time ago. And this is my strategy, is to create the themes for every month. And so every month I have a theme. Now for this year, some themes got switched around. And so the theme here is campaign planning for 2021. That's my theme. I am probably going to be moving that a little bit forward. And this theme, I decided to, yesterday as a group, I decided I'm changing my theme in September to my favorite supplies, my favorite office supplies. And that's a huge part of my life, my things that I surround myself with. And so I think it'll just be a fun getting to know you theme for the month. And that's not to say that we're not going to market our planner or our programs or, how to work with us. Like all of that will still be intertwined. But if you heard anything this summer reboot, is that your content needs to be relationship building and not just a sales pitch. Think of your digital marketing, your content marketing as your in-person networking and how you build relationships with other businesses and your clients to build a trust, build that credibility. And it's your visibility again, your credibility, and your likability. So right now we are not talking about funnels and how to get people to do an action to get them into a funnel. All of that's very relevant and important to a strategy. But right now I'm rebooting you. I'm helping to reboot you so that way you can finish this year strong. And this training is not just for people who are not doing anything or have fallen off the face of the earth. This information is extremely relevant to those who are doing consistent work, because we always have to be thinking about how we refresh and how we keep everything alive. So here we go. If you do not have a plan if you don't have a theme for September, I'm going to give you a couple of ideas. Okay. How about an end of year checkpoint? How about planning for your next year? Or the scary things we overlook. Now, these could be for any industry. Just start thinking about that. What do you love about your business? What should your clients or your customers be celebrating this month? How about the power of blank? The power of knowing your numbers, the power of, knowing the value of your home. I don't know. It's your industry. When you think of a theme, you want to think of something that's relevant to your people that they would be interested in knowing, and how you can provide valuable information on that topic so they see you as the credible go-to source. Okay. So, or is it time to master something new? These are all themes that you can use. So think about your theme and choose something, land on something. So I don't want to confuse anyone. This page we'll do at the very end. So here in September, you have the entire month minus weekends. And this is not to say that you don't do content on the weekends, but I did this so that way you could have you could just keep it really simple. Okay. And you could choose like every day of this week, or you could just choose a few days. So up at the top, write down the theme. Okay, I'm going to get mine out. I am doing this with you. So I already wrote my notes on mine. So my theme is office supply. My favorite office supplies. I might come up with a better title than that, but that's the gist. And so I've committed in my mind that I'm going to do 10 stories. No, let's say 20 stories, 15 Instagram feed posts, 4 Facebook Lives, and 16 social media posts on the other channels, 4 podcasts, and 4 blogs. It's actually more blogs because each podcast gets a blog, but that's not fair. Okay, so here, I'm forgetting one. And 3 emails. All right. So keeping it really simple, that list is the list of marketing activities that I am committing to for the month of September. Right. I know. It sounds nuts. But it's actually not even, we actually do more than that. But this is just me personally on the topic of office supplies. Now you might say, what in the world does office supplies have to do with your company and getting new business? Well, I don't look at it that way. I look at it as I get to talk about something that I love and probably will be able to connect with quite a few people about it. And that's just fun to build community and with people that have like minds. But also you have to remember again that your marketing is building relationships. Now, people who hate office supplies and who think that it's a waste of time may think, okay, well, Margaret's not the person for me to do, to be my outsourced CMO. I don't think that would happen. But anyway, it is what it is. But this is my way of just getting into the community. Okay. So this is what a complete calendar looks like. So you see all the activities on the left on this side. And it's podcast, blog, Facebook Live, stories, posts, flex your influence messages, modern marketing support group messages, Instagram TV, LinkedIn publish posts, Pinterest, emails. This is just all the list of things that we are going to do, as well as the number of times. So how often we'll do it. Then we take that list, as I've done here, same strategy. And now we break it down into the whole month. So where does it go in the calendar? Let's see, podcasts every Thursday, email every Tuesday. I'm not pointing to the right thing. Email on Tuesday, or you get what I'm saying. So this is how you create your calendar. And these things may not change month after month, but what changes is the topic. So I'm asking you to build some really good habits. And so ideally, you'll be able to take this one content calendar and say, oh my gosh, I committed to way too much. Let's scale it back. Or, wow, now that I have a plan, I'm not wasting time in the middle of the month trying to come up with an idea. You already have the idea. So 20 stories on office supplies, yes, because I've already had the idea of laying them all out and picking them up one by one to show. It's like show and tell is what we came up with yesterday. So anyway, so I want to do 3 emails. So I will do an email on the second Monday, of September, the third Wednesday of September, and the last Friday of September. You want to follow me here? I wrote that down. Email. And you might be thinking, well, what are you going to say in this email? And that's not an issue right now. Right now, we are just creating the calendar, okay? Trust me, this is your first step, because now every week, like, some of us like to have our copy and everything done a month in advance. Some of us don't have that luxury and have to do it 1 week in advance. Some of us are doing this day by day, which I highly disagree with, or ask you to rethink that, because day by day is really rough, because you never know what's going to happen on a given day, and then it doesn't get done. Okay, so 20 stories. So in this week, I'm going to say I'll just do 5 stories per week, okay? So that's just going to be my thing, 5 stories per week. All right? And then we have the Instagram calendar. Now, the Instagram calendar, I will say that we will just do that. That's 15 posts per month. And that's for the feed, okay? The feed is so much different than stories. Like, stories we do constantly, but our feed, we kind of just pick and choose what goes there. And everybody can do their feed however they want. My personal feed is kind of like a hodgepodge of life, business, and all that stuff. So, okay, so that's the Instagram feed. Facebook Lives. Again, this is something that's extremely difficult for me to plan out, and I'll tell you a couple sides of the coin. Some people love to schedule their Facebook Lives and in way far in advance. Some people like to do a Facebook Live on a given day every single week at a given time, same place. And then there's people like me. People like me who cannot commit that far in advance to a Facebook Live. Now, I can't say that I can't. I say that I really won't at this stage of the game. Why? Sometimes I don't feel like getting on camera. And if I don't feel like getting on camera, I really don't want to be on camera. Now, I will also tell, and I am being transparent, because all of these are like very true feelings, are, ideals that a lot of us face. So I will tell you, though, sometimes I do get on camera when I do not want to be on camera. I have to, because it's like a must. It's like Friday and I have to go do my weekly live, and I waited till the end of the week. But it's very difficult for me to actually say on this given day, I am going to go live. And because things happen, or, I get asked to speak somewhere, or something is going on, and I can't do it on that Monday at 9 a.m. like I do every single time. Now, I probably could do that if I chose like Wednesday at 6 in the morning, because I generally don't have anything going on at that time, but I don't want to do that. So we will see. I will tell you, though, that the statistics show that when you do show up at the same time, same place, and people can count on you being there, you do get more views. So I will leave you with that. But this is something that you need to decide for yourself. With all of the digital marketing in the world, and the options and the strategies and the choices, you need to find what's comfortable for you, what is going to be your sweet spot, what you're going to get done, because you cannot just go with what everybody else is going with. And honestly, that was like a really freeing thought for me about 3 years ago. Everyone's like, you have to launch this way, you have to do this, you have to do that. And I just thought, wait a minute, there's so many conflicting ideas between these like huge gurus in the business. And it's like, you know what, Margaret? Just stop, turn it all off, and just find your own sweet spot. So I hope that I can bring you, all angles, like, what is the like the regimen, the rigid regimen that some people like to do, and that works for them. And then just let you know that there's grace and that you can make this your own, especially as you're getting started. Okay. So Facebook Lives, I am going to just say a Facebook Live weekly. Okay. And then 16 social media posts. So I want to do 4 posts per week. And podcasts will go out on Thursday. So you guys see what I'm doing here. I'm going to show you in just a sec. And the blogs will go out on Wednesday. Also, I want to let you know that when you're working with a theme, let's say you pick a theme for September and it's planning for 2021. You don't want to do planning for 2021 in December. Let me make sure that you're not doing that, because what do we all know about December? December gets super busy. I don't know what this December is going to be like. Who knows? But it's still an overwhelming time and people are tired, and it's like, it's just I know for myself, my birthday is in the middle of December, and I basically call my birthday my new year, and I check out for the rest of the year after the 13th. So it's like my time between like my birthday through like the first week of January. So it doesn't mean that I'm not working. It doesn't mean, but it does mean that I'm not taking any meetings or anything like that. So, yeah. So, and I don't think that I'm alone on that. I think a lot of people do. And some of them do that like right after Thanksgiving, mentally check out. So let's say you want to do something about planning for 2021, and whether that's like planning for home repairs or planning your skincare or planning, your speaking schedule, like whatever it is that you do, how can people prepare and plan? Okay. So, I was going to say, whatever your theme is, you can veer off your theme. Like all of my Facebook Lives that I'm committing to are not going to necessarily be, they're not going to necessarily all be about office supplies. Like I could talk about anything I want. The theme is not there to put you in a box. The theme is there to guide you so you don't have to think twice about it. And the idea is to choose a theme that is like, you are the expert in your field. We talked about that on Wednesday, our very first session. And so in your field, I can ask you about anything and you could go on, for hours probably. So the themes are meant to just give yourself a topic. That's why I like to do them a year in advance, because I can get to July when it's super busy and say, okay, what are we, we're in June and we're planning for July's content. Oh my gosh, what are we going to say? I'm so tired. In July, we're talking all about content calendars. Oh, cool. I can talk about content calendars. Why you have a content calendar. Here are my favorite types of content calendars. When a content calendar isn't working for you, how to re-strategize. Like I could talk about content calendars all day long, but once I get to July, if I don't even have an idea of what I'm going to talk about, I'm just like, okay, social media topic. What should I say? Oh, social media is good. It's good for business. It's not necessarily like the best way to enter into, yeah. What's so much? I don't want to overwhelm anyone. Remember that you can pause and you can come back to this. And I am talking fast. I am moving fast. This is my second nature. So just bear with me. Go back. Don't even if you need to listen once, then go back. Okay. I'm actually going to get a picture for social media for a story. So, okay. So anyway, Oh, okay, good. Oh, okay, good. Then that's good. They were just saying that the calendar, like the completed calendar, was a lot. I know. And yours will look like that too. Even if you're doing half of that, it'll still be very drawn out. So here we are. This is like before the highlighters and all of that. I added the blog and the podcast to each week. And up at the top, it says how many posts I'm going to do, Facebook Lives, and stories. But now I'm going to coach myself. And I'm going to say, you know what, Margaret? Don't just say you're going to do 4 posts per week. I want you to write the days down that you're going to do the posts. Are you serious, Margaret? Yes, I am super serious. And again, you have to understand, and I have to understand that even though we have written down a strategy and we have written down a content plan, we have every right to change it whenever we feel like it. Yep. So don't feel like because you are creating this calendar that this is set in stone. It's not. So now I've added all the posts that I want to do to this. So for those of you who are just joining us, we have a worksheet inside of the show notes. Just click that link and grab it. We have a question here. Are these dates when you post the blogs or work on them? Oh, that's such a great question. No, this is when they post. So right now we're posting when things are going to go out. And so here we are. Now we have like when everything's going to happen. And so now you have to know that it needs to get done by then. So I know that a podcast takes, it's like a 3-day turnaround, but I like to be like a couple weeks ahead of time. And so I like right now I have 5 podcasts ready to come out. So I'm going to schedule them for these Thursdays and they'll be ready to go. So that's that. But the blog that launches on Wednesday, sometimes I write it on Monday or Tuesday. But ideally, I'd like to write them the week before and the week before that. So I hope that answers your question, Elizabeth. Elizabeth is actually our go-to for virtual events. And I wanted to talk a little bit about virtual events during this reboot. I might still, but it's going to be one of those 5 podcasts that's going to be coming out soon. So anyway, I don't want to digress, but Elizabeth, thank you for being here with us. Okay. So here's the September calendar. Now let's move on to October. Just kidding. We're not done with September. Did anybody finish this? Did anybody write this? If you did, I want you to please take a picture and I would love for you to text that to me. Would you do that? Would you text it to me? I'm going to put my number right here in the comments. Text your calendar. Don't worry, I won't show the world unless you want me to, but I do have some special prizes to give away. Yesterday, Sylvia Soto won the ticket to the 6-figure salon. And then our grand prize giveaway is going to be a 1-year membership to the Flex Your Influence community, which is $450. So that is going to be the grand prize. And so your text will actually be another entry. Showing up is one entry. Your comments are another entry. So anyway, let's see here. I will text when I'm done with it. Okay, good. Awesome. Okay, awesome. Now, what I realized also is that when you got your calendar, you're missing December. So I will actually be emailing everybody the December calendar as well. I want you to be set for the end of this year. So what I'd like to talk about next is how you're going to get this content, how to make the most of like one piece of information. So here I have 4 podcasts, 4 blogs, 4 lives. So I want to start there. remember, if I give you a suggestion, I'm not saying that that's the only way, that's it, there's nothing else that you can do. Absolutely not. I am giving you some ideas. And generally, people that come to me are people who have a lot on their plate, need to maximize their time, and need to make the most of their content. So that is kind of my sweet spot and Socialize LA's sweet spot. Yay, Sylvia. Thank you for being here again, too. I think you'll really enjoy yourself. It's the Six Figure Salon, and it is put on by two women in DC. So it'll open up your network, too. So a lot of good stuff. Okay. So how to get this content done? Start with what you can. If you might be saying, I'm not even doing a podcast. So think about your Facebook Live. If you go live on Facebook, like I am right now, I could, if I wanted to, I could rip the audio from this Facebook Live and add it to my podcast. And I know a lot, and make that another episode. I know a lot of people that do that. That's not my strategy. It's not really what I want to do. And because I like my podcast to be under 27 minutes, and this is going to be an hour. So yes. So say you did a Facebook Live and your theme was planning for 2021. And so every Facebook Live you did was like setting the stage, mindset, and then knowing your goals, knowing, you're benchmarking the year before, like whatever your ideas were. And you went live on Facebook for 30 minutes, 45 minutes. You need to repurpose that content. When I do a Facebook Live, I say Facebook, but I'm not just on Facebook right now. With StreamYard.com, a service that I pay for, I am live on Twitter, YouTube, and multiple channels of my Facebook. So private groups that I own, not just like some random groups that I'm infiltrating, our business page, and then even my personal page. So right now, my poor friends and family are hearing this too. But another sidebar, in today's world, and it has been this way for many years, like 4 or 5 years, a lot of people will friend you on Facebook before they even connect with you on LinkedIn or like your business page. So as far as I'm concerned, my personal page is, it's all business-ish. But you know me, I'm not just like button up business. Like I just want to keep it real on all my channels. So anyway, that's why I go live on my personal. That's always a question I have from an audience member. It's like, what about personal versus business? Like, yeah. I can't get into that right now though, because we only have 19 minutes left. So repurposing your content. This is so important. So StreamYard is about $50 a month. So if you're not wanting to really like spend that, or to me, it's like the best investment ever, because you can see how beautiful it allows me to. And I'm not a affiliate. I wouldn't even put an affiliate link here. I wouldn't even know if I had an affiliate. I'm just telling you straight that I love it because I can add my logo here. I can do a screen share. I can have up to 6 people on one Facebook Live. I mean, it is super, super powerful. And so that just makes my life easier. Then it goes everywhere. I don't have to share it afterwards. It's already there. And I can also just download the raw video. And then that's when I can repurpose this and make that my blog post for the month, for the week. So if you have committed to 4 Facebook Lives and 4 blog posts and you're wondering, how in the world am I going to get all that content done? You can create a blog with the main attraction being your Facebook Live, your video, and maybe just writing a blurb down at the bottom of like the top 10 points or 5 points, and always a call to action to maybe get a free download or something like that to collect information. But that's how you make the most of one piece of content. And now it was your Facebook Live, it was your YouTube content, it was your blog post, and then you can get that raw footage. And if it's under 60 minutes, on a web browser, you can log into your Instagram account and you can add that to Instagram TV. And now you have content for your Instagram TV. I mean, is this amazing or what? Like, this is how we make the most of our content, the most of our time. And sure, you might say, well, won't people be annoyed by seeing the same content everywhere? The chances of everyone in your network seeing it everywhere is very slim to none, right? It is not, thrown in our face when someone posts. It's like, oh, did you see so-and-so's post? It's like, no, I didn't see so-and-so's post. I'm not just staring at their page all day. So you're on StreamYard now, and that is forwarding. Yes, exactly. I'm on StreamYard now, and this broadcast is not just on Facebook. It's on YouTube and Twitter as well. So very powerful tools out there to make your life easier. Here at Socialize LA, we pack a lot of tools. It makes our lives easier. It makes us be able to, we can focus on what we love to do. And also it helps our clients. So I used to have a software that only went on Facebook Live or gave me the raw footage. So after every time I went live, oh my gosh, I don't even want to think about it. I'm like having PTSD. I would have to get the raw footage, upload it to YouTube, take the YouTube, and then start putting it around. Now, the one thing that it's not doing for me right now, and this is an alternate step that sometimes I take, sometimes I don't, unfortunately, is to LinkedIn. How many have tried to become a LinkedIn? LinkedIn has live footage, but not everybody has access to it. I got an email saying I had access to it, and then I don't have access to it. So I can't go live in LinkedIn automatically. So that's annoying. But what I can do is I can take the YouTube or the raw video and I can make that my LinkedIn published post for the week. So see, now all of your channels are getting this awesome content. And we all know how important video is. That's why I started with that, because that's what you can break out. So yes. Awesome. So again, if you have your calendar, if you have created any part of your calendar, definitely text it over to me, because I want to see it. I want to see what you're working on and how I can, you may never know, I may support you in a way that you were not anticipating. So anyway, let's see. Okay. We are at 14 minutes. And so we created one calendar, and my promise is that we would create 90 days. But my promise to you was not necessarily to do them on this call, because we talked about so many amazing things, but you now have the formula to create the 90-day. And if you can't take the time to focus and take a stab at October and November, then you need to re-listen to these videos to get your mindset. Okay. Sometimes it just takes the getting started to just go. I'm going to tell you something that's so crazy, but I love to run. I love to run. I love to be outside on the pavement. I sometimes when I'm running, I feel like I'm flying, and I'm really not, because I like to say that I'm built for distance, not for speed. But I can run long distance. But guess what? As much as I love to do it, as much as the will to love to do it, and I know how awesome it's going to be when I'm there, it is so hard to get my shoes on and to get out. Is that crazy? It is the wildest thing. So that's how a lot of us are in a lot of different areas of our life. And you know that this is going to be impactful to your business to have a calendar like this. because the fact that you write it down is like half the battle. If you write it down and then you're like, oh my gosh, okay, I can do this. The first month you may not get it done 100%, but the first month you might get 50%. And then in October, you might get 70%. And then for the rest of your life, you might be at a cool 90% constantly. And that's what you want to be, because before you were at 0% or 10%. And so writing it down is like that first step. Is like putting on my shoes. And then like making sure that I have, my ideas written out. That's like getting out there, like getting outside. Once I'm out there, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the best. This is the best. So think about that. But I want to end with this exercise. Okay. First of all, if you have any questions, I'd like you to join the Facebook group and write them there. If you don't feel comfortable putting them publicly, you can send us a message at Socialize LA. That's no problem. But definitely do that. Okay. If you have questions or if you just feel stuck, do that. But you'll get some help inside of our free Facebook group. But I want you to take some time after we finish here, or now, if you're in the mood, to just think, like, what did you learn in these last 3 days? Like, what are 3 things or even one thing that you are just going to take and run with? As someone who attends online workshops and conferences, I always say, if I can walk away with 1 or 2 nuggets, then it was worth my time being there. And so what is worth your time being here? What did you walk away with? And again, snap a photo of it and text it to us. Because we want to know. We want to know how you were impacted by this. It's super important too to have that time of reflection, because then you can remind yourself, I want I want this for myself. Like what Margaret was explaining with the calendars every month, like I want that. And so I do want to, you can use whatever calendar you want, but the Flex Your Influence Master Planner will take you through a lot of strategy building and guidance. And then we also, when you buy this, you get the training videos from me. But at the end, you have a 16-month calendar. So you'll be able to do that. And it's nice and wide and big. So that way you can write big and all of that. But what if there was something about the last 3 days that you were thinking, oh my gosh, I want that for my business. I want that for my life. It really, whether I'm in the picture or not, or our team is in the picture or not, it really needs to be like your own commitment. And then just like that unshakable, like, I'm going to do this. And then you just get started. And you might say, well, what if I just want to do day by day? Again, if that's where you start there. But you will slowly figure out that, I shouldn't really do this day by day because I miss things. And then I also fall off very easily. So this is like the anti-day by day group. I'm going to put this planner link inside our notes here. So if you wanted to get that, you can. There's a digital version and there's the paper version. So both are fine. I've seen people buy the digital and then have it printed somewhere, and they put it inside of a 3-ring binder, and it looks really cool. It makes me want it that way, but this works for me, the paper. So anyway, reflect on that. And then down at the bottom, I want you to write down your next steps. Does anybody want to share their next steps? What are your next steps? Is it to open a Facebook page? Is it to get StreamYard? Is it to launch an online course? Is it to launch a podcast? I'll let you think about that for a minute. And I want to just move back into my center. This is important both in trying to plan for what's next. Oh, my own personal maturity. Took importance of the plan and extra bonus encouragement. Yes, awesome. Awesome. So Sylvia's saying that from this reboot, she was just encouraged to revamp her space. And I think that's awesome, because whatever work you're doing, whether it's like, you know, I believe, Sylvia, in your role, you do more the high level thinking. And the high level thinking could start here, because then you could pass your plan along to your team. We just hired a brand new social media strategist to Socialize LA, and her role is going to be Socialize LA marketing. She's not going to have any client work, because I want to fully focus on Socialize LA's marketing plan, because right now a lot of it is me. And if it's just us, that can be very hard. But anyway, so if you are the owner or the director or a manager, and this is where your plan can start, and then you hand this to your team and let them execute. That's amazing. Yes, start a blog. Starting a blog. Where do you start a blog? You can go to Tumblr, Blogger. You can get a personal Wix website and start a blog there. There's a lot of awesome ways to start a blog right away. And yeah, that can definitely happen for you. Okay. My next step is to order your planner and get organized. Awesome. Yes. Thank you. That's wonderful. So, yeah, if there's tools that you need to buy, or you need to just put in new habits. As you know, I love planning. And so it is very, very important to me to add in my planning time when I'm going to do my marketing. So here's just like a glance of my planner. Now, I do write a lot of notes in my planner. It's not just, things that need to get done that day, but I have a lot of checklists in here. But I block out when I'm going to do what. Like, I have a couple hours every week that I have to look at my business finances. I have to make sure everything's adding up and invoices are done and all of that, because I still like to have my hand on that. But everything is blocked, scheduled. That is very helpful. But I just want to thank you all for joining me for these 3 days. These videos are going to be available through Sunday on all of these channels. The reason why I like to take them down is because this information is relevant for right now. And for those of us who showed up or watched the replays right away, like, that's awesome. But we will take them down. They will be put in our Socialize LA campus, which is where we house all of our training courses, and will be made available to the Flex Your Influence community. And today, right after this, I am having a personal one-on-one with the Flex Your Influence community members, and they're getting their own opportunity to ask questions all about the reboot. So that's kind of like their perk for being in our community. And so if you're interested in joining our community, just stand by, maybe leave a message here with your email, or message me, or just say, I'm interested, and I can send you some information. But we don't have open enrollment until the 30th. So you have to wait a few more days. It's going to be super great. We are going to immediately start walking everyone through the Flex Your Influence Master Planner. And we're having a lot of fun in the group, and people are making moves in their marketing, and that's what it's all about. So I want to thank you so much. Okay, got it. I will check our email. And Thank you so much for being here. If you have any questions, comments, or if you got any aha moments, again, send them over and I will let you know who won today's ticket to the 6-figure salon. And I will also let you know via email. So if you downloaded the worksheet, you will get this email, and I'll announce it on social media as well, who won the grand prize of a 1-year seat in the Flex Your Influence community. All righty. Have an awesome Friday, and thank you so much for being here. Keep in touch.